Hey, everybody. Welcome to Joe's Minibike Reunion podcast. As E's earplug falls off, we're talking about season 3. What episode was it, Ed?
4.
Right. Episode 4. You know, we never start on time.
I know.
I've been reading the posts. You can see them.
I don't know how that happens. Is it the setup guy?
Well, they have this. I think we promote the 7 p.m. too much. We should start changing it. We should make it like.
Approximately 7 p.m.
So it is approximately 7 o'clock or shortly thereafter. Welcome, everybody. We're in the garage. We've got the garage door shut because it's cold, because we're pussies in California. Ed, how cold is it out there?
I don't know, maybe 60.
See, it's 60.
It's freaking cold.
We're here with the evil one. You hear that voice, you see that face. It's the one, the only Evil Ed. And Evil Ed's going to bring us up to speed on how he's feeling, as well as what's been happening around the mini bike scene here in L.A. Of late, the 15th annual GTS Hobby Day in the Park, we'll call it, Ed, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we call it that.
We can get a little bit more enthusiastic about it. But as we get into the heart of the show, I want to introduce a young guy that, I don't know, I've seen him online. Then we met over at the Mac Fest. I call him the Collectinator. Justin Eichler, not Eckler. For those of you who've been yapping the Eckler thing, it's Eichler. And me and Ed, we knew that.
I thought it was Eichler.
We'll see. You weren't supposed to say that, Christ. Anyways, he's here. Justin's a young, cool cat who's he's on the mini bike scene. You and I were talking, Ed, and he has he's up early getting that worm early. He's up late. He ain't afraid to travel. He's a smooth talker. He knows his stuff, and he's been prowling the mini bike classifieds, aka Craigslist, eBay, what have you, word of mouth, attending events. And throughout his escapades, he's collected a ton of bikes and parts and cool engines, and you're going to get a kick finding out more about him. He'll be talking about the mini bike life from his perspective. Welcome, Justin. What's happening, my man?
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, well, sure. We talked about having you, what was it, online?
Yeah, a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, we were going back and forth. We were talking about a West Bend engine. In fact, did Irving buy the West Bend engine, the Green Hornet?
He bought one of them, yeah.
Yeah, did he? Which one did he buy?
It's the 580 3-port.
Yeah, that was both of those were nice engines.
Yeah.
And I'm sure we'll do business. Although you got it right on earlier. Usually I'm buying and keeping, but you're shaking and moving, and I want to get to some of those stories. And thank you for rolling up. You're whereabouts, Orange County, are you?
Huntington Beach.
Huntington Beach. So you rolled over. And today's kind of an interesting day for you. Isn't this like the end kind of a long-standing career you've had in the automotive aftermarket, similar to my world? And
yeah,
tell everybody what's happening in your world, just to give them an idea of a day in the life.
A couple years I've been working at Original Parts Group, selling GM body vehicle parts for restoration. Having a good time, top sales. Met a lot of good people.
For a while, right? Weren't you there for, how long were you there?
Close to 3 years now.
Interesting.
So made some good money, enough to support my mini bike hobby.
They're both, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're habits and hobbies, right?
Yeah. So then, I decided that I need to stop making this continuous step back in life and needed to make my steps forward. So my father owns his own company and presented an opportunity to me that I couldn't pass up. So,
well, how cool is that? I'd work with Dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, you're right. But I for whatever reason, I don't know your dad, but it seems like it's going to be a good deal for you.
Yeah.
I met him. He's cool.
Oh, where did you meet him?
At the park.
Okay, so
GT Hobbies Park.
So Ed, thanks, because that helps us get on track. In fact, before we do that, let's thank our friends from Pioneer Car Audio. As you know, the lights are on largely due to their support, as well as our friends from GTS. I talked to the guys at GTS, and here's the deal. Not only are they back as sponsors, but they're sending us a little badass.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. So we're going to get it, and we're going to have some fun with it, and we may even have the ability to have Dave Miller come up.
Oh, yeah?
And help us with maybe a couple little tips and tricks and parts.
All right, cool.
And that's going to be kind of like a house bike for us. So you get to ride it. I get to ride it. Maybe we'll end up giving it away. Maybe we'll just stick it in the stable. Maybe we use it as a mule. And I want to thank our friends over at GoPowersports.com. Those guys have been up to a lot of cool things. I saw something recently. In fact, you can follow them on the gopowersports.com, not only their website, but on their Facebook page. They're doing like timed build-offs with young kids, young enthusiasts, putting together bikes. They've got a crew of zanies that they put together that help them and sponsor some of their events. We'll talk a little bit more about it later on. But I like what they do there at gopowersports.com. They're coming back. They've got a custom chain cover that they're making available. In fact, Vinny Kudo won a sprocket. Vinny, you can stop calling me now. It's only a sprocket, for Christ's sake. You're going to get the thing next week or the week after. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, Go Power Sports. Congratulations, Vinny, on winning that. And we'll be giving away a Go Power Sports custom chain guard today, as well as having a small engine Cam Ziski, always back in the house. I got a new banner there, Ed. We don't have to sign this one. We're keeping this one in the studio.
Oh, okay.
And Tim is going to be continuing the giveaway with the small engine Cam. So send in I see some comments already popping up. If you have any questions, particularly about collecting, right? Maybe you have some tips or tricks or stories, good, bad, or indifferent. We've all had them about picking all those original bikes that have like 3 paint jobs on them and original quote unquote offerings. Then you get there and they're far from it. Or in the case of the Tecumseh behind you, Ed, just a simple ad that said lawnmower engine for sale.
Yeah, you gotta know how to check the ad. You know, if you're looking for something.
Yeah, the
Punch
keywords.
in lawnmower, edger.
And follow even, and again, we're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves, but yeah, as we talk about our tactics that we've used as we go about strategizing and finding and putting together our game plan to find our bike or our part, it's interesting what you find and what you don't find, but we'll get into that. Thank you to our friends at Small Engine Cams, GT, Go-Kart USA, Pioneer, and some of our other sponsors, CRC. Thank you very much. And I want to give a little shout out to my friends over at MG. We had a great time, Ed. You know, I'm in this new industry, the cannabis industry. It's legal in many, many states. It's got great medicinal benefits, but we were out there having a good time. I brought back some goodies, so I'll see everybody after the show. Okay, Justin Eichler. Why you're in the automotive world? You're in SoCal. You've got all the good things going for you. You've got access to all the cool cars, all the cool bikes. How did you get into mini bikes?
I was like 4 or 5 years old. My dad bought me my very first mini bike, which happens to be a 1968 Taco 44. Rode it around for quite some time, not knowing what it was. I let one of my friends ride it. He crashed into a car, threw it in, parked car, mind you. Put it aside in the garage for years and years and years, and then one day I pulled it out, being into hot rods, and I found it and decided that I was going to start tinkering with it.
How badly was it damaged? And how was the kid your buddy that rode it that crashed it? Was he broken tooth or
no?
nail?
He was pretty hurt. I mean, he sat on the couch with some ice packs on his legs for quite some time.
What was his name? Do you
Eric
remember?
Morjon.
And what's he up to now?
He's an LA sheriff.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, Christ. See?
Well, he comes from a family of district attorney and
bad mini bike riders.
Yeah.
Want to give him a little shout out?
Yeah. What's up, Eric? You're one of my best friends from growing up.
Do you remember what kind of car he hit?
No.
Come on, you're a car guy, for Christ's sake.
It must have been.
Could you imagine if it was a 69 Camaro or something?
Oh, gosh. Yeah.
Anyway, so he crashed your bike. Your mother, your father all told you don't touch that thing, and then...
No, actually, Dad pulled it back out and took it in and got it fixed so that we could ride it again, but the guys who did it took all the original parts off.
Who are those guys?
Some lawnmower shop.
Remember their name?
No. My dad knows where they're at, but I highly doubt that they even have any of the parts.
So they took your original parts and put on what parts they take, like engine or what, wheels?
They took the original engine, they took the wheels, sprocket, brake, all the good stuff.
Not good.
So anyways, it went rolling down the street. We rode it around for years and years and years, and then trying to get into the hot rod industry when I was young, not knowing what I was doing, I tinkered around trying to put different engines on, and then never really got it running again. And here I am, into tacos, which started the whole process. Is this one that my dad bought?
Sure. It's funny how you remain loyal to that first bike, right?
Oh yeah.
It's
still
like a favorite sports
garage.
team or something. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's still sitting in the garage, almost ready to be done. I've been collecting parts and trying to find the right ones for it, because that's the one that I don't want to ride and I want to just put it there. It's it's the one that my dad bought me. It's got a lot of sentimental value.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the seed that it created it all. So you have to keep that always. I'm still looking for a Bozo that was my first bike. They're not the most popular, and they're very regional. So knowing that you're out there, if you find a Bonanza, let me know. Or excuse me, a Bozo. So now you go through the situation with the first bike. You're back on there again. How do you take it from just being a mini bike owner to a really serious collector? How did that all happen?
I have no idea. I was bored. I work all the time, 6 days a week, 10-hour days. I was just collecting money, and it was boring. So being young and not having any hobby, spent a long time with a girl, a couple years, and decided after we went our separate ways that I needed to find some sort of a sport or a hobby, something to do. So I got into RC cars and spent a fortune on that. And a couple weeks went by and realized, it's just every time I take them out, they break. It's hundreds of dollars. So I put those aside, found the mini bike again, and here we are, 43 bikes later.
I was just going to ask, 43 bikes now, huh? And most of them I see, your collection reminds me a bit, Ed, of Taco Bill's.
Yeah.
A lot of frames.
Yeah.
So when you talk about 40 some odd bikes, are we talking about some cases frames, some case two pieces, sometimes rollers, some case complete bikes? Does it kind of run the gamut?
When I buy them, I try to buy them complete. I've bought in a lot of just frames, but when I find just the frame, then I'm on the hunt for just the wheel, the shocks, the brake. So it kind of turns into a fiasco. But I have gone that route, and I've collected all sorts of parts, just frames. I've been able to sell a couple. Basically, I've done my inventory to where I know what I have in order to complete my bikes that I currently have, and I still have a couple spare parts to get rid of. But I still need some bikes in order to complete my collection.
Which is almost like a puzzle, right? You kind of do you have what do you see in your future in terms of collection? Are you going for, like in the case of Taco Bill again, where he has just about every taco frame or bike?
We keep referencing Bill. I mean, it's great that you did that because he's someone that actually sparked a lot of this.
Sure.
Before I knew that he had done this, my goal was to have every year make a model taco.
Well, isn't it nice to have somewhat of a mentor in that capacity, especially one that's as cool as him?
Yeah, absolutely. He's a great guy.
Yeah,
he's
a
full of
Joe's
information.
Yeah, Joe's Minibike Reunion Hall of Famer. We had him on the show. In fact, I'm not sure if you had a chance, but you can go on YouTube and see that show.
It out. Yeah.
Yeah, and where is he now, Ed?
He's
High
in,
Desert?
Hesperia or something.
Yeah, he still seems active. I think he's
somewhere, Apple Valley or.
Was there a Moon Eyes event that he rolled to? I thought he came down here to go somewhere, but if you're
maybe
listening,
he did.
Or if anybody has a chance to see him, tell him hi.
I know he's been going to like El Mirage, racing that little hot rod he's got.
Yeah, we are. In fact, Emmanuel and I just had a nice talk today. We're getting closer to our first shows for our YouTube channel, Joe's Mini Bike Show, which we hope will find an opportunity to go visit Bill. Thinking that would be a really cool episode.
He's got a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah, so we'll do that. So you and I came in contact online, and then we, as we mentioned, had seen each other over at MacFest, and then you and your dad were with Ed at the GTS picnic this week. Yeah, how was that? What was going on there, Ed?
It was nice. They had a little barbecue going. A bunch of drag bikes were out there. A little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Who was out there? Who were some of the guys out there? I imagine you got Charles.
Charles
D,
was there.
The dueling Irving, Corona Irving, and Irving, the Green Hornet.
The usual guys. I mostly just sat in a chair that Justin brought.
Did you steal Justin's chair? There you go.
Oh, yeah, I brought a couple.
I brought a couple chairs, actually.
That's kind of your MO. Most of the photos I have of you, the Minibike Reunion, are either you coming up, giving out a trophy, or sitting down, hanging out. I had some really cool photos of you in Home Alone.
You've seen one mini bike, you've seen them all.
Well, but it's nice just to hang, isn't it?
No, they had some nice drag bikes out there.
I saw
GT Hobbies.
Rashane had a really nice bike. Rashane Valentine, yeah, that looked nice. And did Brian go down?
Brian showed up.
Did he? What's up, B?
At the very end.
Well, he came. That's a long way. He's another one who's
he was there like
hysteria?
10 minutes and had to go, and it was over. It was like,
Oh, by the time
Yeah,
you
we
got
were
there,
packing up
yeah,
and he
he was
pulled
there
in.
like 10 minutes. and
like
he turned
Rodney's
around and
ribs
went
for my
back.
show.
He
The
was
barbecue
what?
guy, like Rodney's ribs.
Yeah,
who
yeah,
came
yeah.
Last 10
Exactly.
minutes of my
exactly.
show. Well, I had planned on going because I had missed the last. Oh, I know Ian, right? Ian Cordova. He came down.
Yeah, he
It
drove
was
down.
yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, it's his pop's birthday.
Oh,
Happy
really?
birthday, happy belated pops.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
You're older than his father, Ed. Thank God his father's a little bit older than me.
What?
Yeah, his father's like 64, so he's a
No,
little bit
I'm
older than
younger.
me.
I'm 62.
Oh, all right then. Sorry about that.
I did get my first retirement check.
Hey.
Oh, how'd that go?
What mini bike did you
I
buy?
had to buy a transmission for my truck.
Yeah, we were joking about that. It's like, okay, look, when because once you start getting it now you have to have like a maximum you can make in your real job, right?
Right, yeah.
So it's like your first check, you got to buy something or do something. So in your
I
case,
was
it was
going
a
to buy a
transmission.
mini bike, but
You'll
tranny
never
went
forget
out
the
my
tranny,
truck.
though. That's for sure.
Tranny went out my truck, so I couldn't actually go look at any tacos because I knew Justin already bought them all.
Well, even when I was confirming this morning with Justin, he's showing me pictures. I just got this today. It's like, God, this kid never ends. It's like, please. It's like I go back to work. I looked at it. It's
found
like,
one up
He
north
spent
this
all his
morning.
money and he can't buy this now.
well, I was going to get to that. It was almost like a sensei moment where I was having this out of body experience where I saw you come down the driveway with the box, and I was curious about what it was. I think you were as well, and you had the little chrome, the little polishing rag, and as it was coming up, and you were talking to, it was like the old to the new, and the old
Well,
sensei.
he hit me up about the tank, and I didn't.
Which tank? Now we're talking about is it Arco tank?
No,
it's
it's
an
a
old
Zusa.
Azusa tank.
Oh, the Sousa tank. When I
He
say
hit me
Arco.
up and said he was looking for one.
Oh, at the
But
GPS.
I didn't tell him I had a brand new one in the box because I didn't want to sell it. I didn't want to hurt his feelings. Oh, yeah, I have one, but I don't want to sell it.
You
know?
got you. So you just kept
So
your
I
mouth
just
shut.
kept my mouth shut.
But meanwhile, you've
And
been
then
thinking for 48 hours, y'all, you'd like to sell that thing.
Oh, yeah.
Then at the GT Hobbies picnic, I had told him that I had one. And then his eyes lit up.
Oh, yeah. You could tell.
Then today,
We told me it was new old stock in the box.
well, I don't know what happened in the box. But
So
it's got all
So
the
that
stuff.
got my eyes all opened up. New old stock. Come on,
But
nice
it's
and
brand
chrome.
new. It's nice. Got all the fittings and the.
See that ding in there, Justin?
I did.
Grind him on that. Grind him on the ding.
So I told him I'd sell it to him, but he spent all his money.
Well, if I had your money, I'd burn mine. So you could put him on a PayPal plan. You could do the whole friend thing, and and then I'll have him on the release. He had to sign. We'll put his home
But now I
address.
don't
Oh,
know.
God.
Now I don't know if I want to sell it.
Oh, see what I mean about the old and new?
Oh, yeah.
So what's
yeah.
going on here, Justin? You may not realize because he's as smooth as a silver fox. Ed's been in the game too. He's been buying and selling for a while too. So
Well, my whole game plan is these guys who have been collecting and hoarding like me is they're only getting older. One day, unfortunately,
That's why I got rid of most of my stuff already.
it happens, and you are on a good path. And my suggestion would be to be nice to the old guys,
Oh, I am.
not just Ed.
Ed and I got a good little relationship going on, but there's plenty of other people out there that I talk to and whatnot. And
Well, you're a very nice guy. You're
Try.
very, and we like what you're doing. So any old guy would have to not only like what you're doing, but have a little something for you. I don't like selling something, but I feel like I gotta keep the machine fed. I gotta keep you going.
Well, I had plans for it, but then
Are we still back to that
recently-
tank you're trying to sell?
Yeah.
Jesus
I got
Christ.
plans to put it on my bike.
Since the picnic,
You've had 3 offers, haven't you?
no, I had changed my mind on the bike I was going to put it on.
Yeah.
I'm not going to run it.
Okay.
So then I figured I'd bring it here and hit Justin up, see if he wanted it.
Well, the night's still long, Ed, and you never know what could happen. So you guys both went to GTS Hobby. I wasn't able to make it. I apologize, Ralph and D and all the guys who were down there. I was hoping to see those guys. Home
He
Alone.
was there with the freaking drones going.
Sure, he goes everywhere with that drone.
Oh God, it was crazy.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah, it's one that I've
I
just.
did see two. Well, I saw one accident, and then I heard of another one.
It didn't happen at the show though. That's
Okay.
the thing.
But it was in the riverbed behind the picnic. The
Yeah, it
park.
was after the picnic and had nothing to do with
One of the
picnic.
guys was. The park is here, the riverbed is here, and there's some stairs coming from the riverbed down to the park. Well, they were coming on their mini bikes down the riverbed, and then one guy in the front saw the stairs. So he hit his brakes to come down the stairs, and when he hit his brakes, the guy behind him rear-ended him. And then later, after the picnic kind of ended, further down on the riverbed, I heard that two guys hit each other head on. And then there were some pictures posted of the guy, and both their faces were really bad. The mini bikes were all torn up.
Yeah, it's really important to wear your helmets.
Well, and then the trickle effect is all the ancillary and all the collateral damage. You know, the mother's got to get the phone
the sheriff
call.
showed up, the fire truck showed up.
It's got some ugly tentacles when all that stuff happens. You had a little recent. We were joking earlier about how these things could get out of control. You had just purchased a bike, right? And it looked like it was, just anxious to, you want to ride. And, it looks like the chain's on, there's gas, and the wheels are spinning, and the brakes are working, and you pull what happened?
Yeah, I took it to the GT.
You're talking about the taco that you have out here.
Yeah, the 6822.
Yes.
Yeah, I took it to the picnic, and fortunately I didn't bring any gas because I knew, no riding, no starting the bike, so I didn't bring any gas or anything in the bike or in the engine. So it wasn't ready to go.
See, that was smart right there.
Yeah, it's the way to do it.
You're showing intelligence way beyond your years by not tempting yourself with gas in there.
Thank you.
Right, yeah.
Appreciate that. So I take it back home, and Sunday morning I wake up and eager to go ride down the street. I pour some gas in the tank and pull start it, and fires right up. And lo and behold, throttle cable, the carburetor idle screw, I don't know which one it was, it just took off. So... very important, new engine, new bike, new build. You never know what's going to happen. Prop that rear wheel up because incidents can happen like this.
Sure.
Fortunately, it's just a mini bike, but
yeah. Mine had Ed was probably the first one to hear the story. We're just showing the burnout mark over there with that raw tone Friuli.
Yeah.
And I had a couple engines in there that I was experimenting with, and I went through a period where I had posted some photos. I think I had a Briggs, I had a small Predator, and I don't know what the other engine was. Could have been a Clinton. Which one do you guys think I should use? And I took a vote, and I tried to put one of those engines in there. Then I swapped it like 2 or 3 times in a day. And I started to get just a little bit too big-headed. And that third time, I had the third engine in there, and I pulled that pull starter, and that bike flew up against the wall and spun around, and I got electrocuted a couple times trying to pull off the spark plug wire. My wife's watching all this shit from the window and demanding me to get in the house like a little fucking 2-year-old.
Yeah, you got to be careful.
It's getting crazy out there.
And that same bike, in fact, that bike, I may sell you that bike now I think about this. The second time that thing got me, the first time I was out there with it, it was a great deal. Just pulled start the engine, one pull, and it took off. And I'm riding, and one day I come out there just quick like an idiot, shorts and flip-flops, and I'm just going to do a little hot lap around the circle driveway, and the clutch flew off. Just missed my leg, got a little bit of a scratch, could have been everything. So yeah, you got to watch it. So you're a proponent of wearing helmets a lot.
Oh yeah, every time I start the bike, I get on it. I've got a 10-year-old brother that I like to get interested in the hobby as well. He rides around, take him off the video games, and
yeah, what's his name?
Michael.
Yep. So you got a little bit of the fever, the mini bike fever?
Yeah, we call him Michael Motorcycle.
Mike, yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
so that's cool because they're still easy enough, aren't they, Justin? Where you can get him a wrench and tell him to put this on or take off 2 bolts or
Yeah, there's nothing to it. I mean, there's a little bit of trick to it, but it's all common sense.
Yeah, to a large degree. And despite its simplicity, Ed and I lean on Ed a lot, and we have a lot of fun. It's a nice excuse to come over. But there are times where, the 2 screwed things we're there for an hour dicking around with it.
Sometimes you need an extra hand,
Well, yes, that's for sure. Plus, getting up is tougher for us. Because, you know how infrequently you actually elevate those things properly and work on them. Usually you're bending down, on the ground with these little 2-foot mini bikes. So let's talk about some of the things I was mentioning earlier. What do you think was your best find? What was the biggest surprise, or what turned out to be maybe the most valuable item that you stumbled upon that you had like really no idea of? Were any of those light bulb moments where you got a little something that you hadn't bargained for, good or bad?
I've got two bikes that are probably, I want to say, the most rare out of my collection. They're tacos. One's the American Eagle edition taco that I got from Tom Browning, Engine Tom, and I bought that on eBay.
When was that?
Probably when I first started this hobby. It was probably the second bike that I bought.
And
Were the one I bought my first 50 frame off of.
Huh. Was that a competitive eBay deal that you bought, or was it a buy it now?
No, he had two bikes on there, and they were both being, you can bid on them.
Mm-hmm.
Two tacos. I'm sure he had tons more on there at the time, but I found the two tacos, and I had been drunken eBay purchase. I actually went to go bid on the one cheaper model, 44, and I ended up buying the 22. So he's all the way out in Modesto. I'm in Orange County, good 8-hour drive. My brother living up in Oregon was coming down. So since I made the purchase, I said, hey, screw it. Jeff, my older brother, thank you
Jeff.
for picking it up.
Sure.
He drove down, and instead of taking the 5, he took the 99 all the way home, or all the way back down here, and picked up my bike and brought it home for me.
But if that weren't the case, you're pretty down to take a 6-8 hour trip. What's the furthest that you've traveled to pick up a bike or a part? Are you're obviously going out of state? Are you doing the Arizona, Nevada, Oregon?
Yeah.
deal?
I'll make trips and whatnot. I'll go out of state to go pick them up. Don't get me wrong.
Excuse me.
Shipping's always better, so that way I can stay at home and still continue to work and make the paycheck to buy another bike.
Well, yeah, I guess it's one of those things if you have to buy it before you actually get a chance to see it, depending on what it is.
It's typically how it goes.
Yeah. So let's just say a typical month. How many transactions do you think on an average you're involved in? Like how many like bikes or parts or pieces? Is it a daily thing for you? I mean,
It's daily that something's popping up for me. Absolutely.
buying and selling?
No, I'm not buying every day, nor am I selling. I typically don't sell.
Ah.
I've sold a couple things here and there. I mean, to help out some of the gentlemen that are trying to restore some of their bikes. Like I said, I have some extra pieces, but those are going to come into play later on when I have that bike that needs that part.
Are there any parts that you are in need of, Justin, that maybe some of the folks that are listening or watching may have a little chance at helping you out with? Are there any particular parts that maybe...
Still haven't had a confirmed 1971 taco serial number come into play, so that would be cool if someone out there has one, to show it. It'd be nice.
How rare are those? Do you have a
71?
sense? Yeah.
If the serial numbers never come into play to where no one ever has one that actually shows the 71 number, I'd say it's pretty darn rare.
Wow. What about Taco Bill?
Yeah, I don't think he has one.
Yeah, I think he has every taco made.
Yeah, so maybe Taco Bill, we'll get a word out to him. And
that'd be cool.
And here's the thing with him. If he doesn't have it, he'll know what the scene is.
He knows where to find them.
Yeah, but I guess, again, there are some... Maybe are there some rules amongst collectors where, how far do you go with letting people know where the stash is? Do you keep your honey holes to yourself?
I do, yeah. I've got a couple guys that help me find stuff. Good friend David out of Bellflower, Albert out of La Puente. He helps. Those two guys have provided a lot of my tacos to me.
Is that the guy that posts on Craigslist all those bikes for sale, Albert?
Yeah. He's very active on OfferUp and very active on Craigslist.
Well, being that you're so contemporary within the scene, on Craigslist, there's a lime green cat with a white seat for $400 OBO. The guy has somewhat of a rebuilt Briggs.
Yeah, it's a nice bike. I've seen it.
How the fuck's that thing still there?
The cat guys don't want to pay much money for the bikes.
I see Papa Smurf trying to sell them for $3,500 on eBay. I mean, anybody buying cats for $3,500? I don't
know.
I don't think I could get $3,500 for my Bonanza chopper.
I just saw one on eBay go for close to $800.
I haven't seen that. I've seen...
It was a red one.
Yeah, okay.
But it had no engine. It was just a roller.
Yeah, the rollers. And then compared to original engine bikes, which is more of what I'm kind of into. Dave Miller has the CR400 beautifully painted. I think it's that stock original orange color. And then he's selling the forks and the sissy bar. And if you plugged and played, bought the frame and bought the, the two other front and rear You still got wheels. You still got edge. You got a lot of stuff. You're going to be into that bike for $3,500 easy if you're building
He
it.
sells a frame for like $700.
Yeah,
And he sells a front
he
end
does
for like
good work.
$250.
it's the best.
Yeah,
I mean,
you're
you are
paying for
buying a
good
bit of
work.
history too. But when you first, like when you, I don't know about you, but in fact, that's the one I ask you about is, yeah, great. Thank you, E. We're going to work into our first break of the night. And I guess what I was going to get at is that we all have our own little points of interest when we're going online. So I'll talk to you a little bit more about what those hot spots are for you.
Cool.
As we head into the break. And for those of you who are watching, welcome to the podcast. Thanks for listening. We have all the prior episodes of Joe's Minibike Reunion on YouTube. If you guys would like to go check that out, it's Joe's Minibike Reunion podcast on YouTube. Subscribe to it, we're told, or asked, in an attempt to get to a level where we make money back from YouTube on advertising. That'll never happen, so do it anyways. Also, if you have any questions and you'd like to have a chance at winning their prizes from GoPowerSports.com or from Small Engine Cams, plus we probably have some other stuff that we can give away tonight. We'll find some of those prizes for you and make it worth your while. Thanks for staying up. Grab a cold beer, do whatever else you do. All of our friends back on the East Coast, Detroit, New York, Miami, Florida, Louisiana, Texas. Myron Bailey. We've got to get Myron back on the show. And also a special shout out to Eric over at Studs. Just had the big event, the Candyman Extravaganza over at the Milan Speedway. He had some fun out there, always doing good things at Studs. In fact, I talked to Eric as well about sending us a big bike, big
really?
fat tired bike. We'll have some fun with.
I
So
saw
who knows?
Craigslist ad for Ubli on the Los Angeles Craigslist from June 1st, 2nd, and 3rd.
Well, I'm talking to Eric about maybe going out there, as well as my good friend Cal McCreasy. So all of our friends in Detroit, hope you're enjoying the show. I sure am. It's Justin Eichler in the house tonight. And got his buddy Dave riding shotgun. Thanks, E, for all the good work. We're going to take a quick time out. We'll be back. Part 2, Joe's Minibike Reunion podcast, right after this break.
Is your car stereo a little outdated? Don't sell your car. Upgrade it. Get hands-free calling with Android Auto on the new Pioneer Next.
New from the makers of legendary Brake Clean, the Shop Size Brake Clean Pro Series. The larger Pro Size can has 50% more of the brake clean you've trusted for over 47 years. Also available in 3 non-chlorinated formulas.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Joe's Minibike Reunion podcast. Thanks for hanging in there with the break. We had a little bit of issue with our hard drive. And, Ed, that means a whole different thing for guys like you and I. But more about that later on. Welcome back to the podcast, everybody. Special note to Frozen Dave, we're going to start calling him. Frozen Dave, up there in the corner, huddled up. Thanks, Dave, for rolling up there. Because it sucks. You know, people don't understand in L.A., and I appreciate it. I'll thank you again for the effort.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It could be a day activity for what out-of-towners may think is a quick drive up from Huntington Beach to La Crescenta. It's like, you know, maybe to you it's a 20-minute whatever.
50 miles wasn't much.
It's hours, and it's planning and stops and food and
Gotta beat the
restroom
traffic.
breaks. It's like it's a lot of shit.
know?
So thanks for coming up.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me.
We were talking about, you had found those 2 tacos from the guy up there, and where was he, Modesto? And then you have other times where you will find a part or a lead, or somebody's got something that you're interested in, and you get there and they're total lunatics. How many good lunatic stories you got? You have any recent lunatic stories?
The most recent lunatic story, the only one that I've really had.
Only one?
Only one so far, surprisingly.
And probably how many transactions? Over 200, right?
44 now. This will be the 44th bike that I
No, I mean,
bought.
but in terms of other parts and pieces, it's hundreds of people that you've transacted with, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So it's only one really.
I mean, they're all. I wouldn't say all of them, but I've encountered probably a handful of odd fellows. You know, this is some just different guys. But I've had one encounter that just went south.
Give it up. What was it?
So this morning I purchased a bike. Found it on Facebook, Minibike Nation. Gentleman, I think his name was William.
I'm on there, Ed. Minibike Nation.
Yeah.
I like that stuff.
I'm on all
There's
them.
a lot of people on that forum.
Yeah, but thumbs up or thumbs down? Thumbs up, Minibike
thumbs up.
Nation.
Yeah, absolutely. Thumbs up.
Thumbs up, Minibike Nation.
I think it's Cliff, or no,
Cliff
it's
Judd.
Yeah, Cliff Judd.
is it Cliff that does
Yeah,
it?
he's usually listening. In fact, I think he won a camshaft last show or the
Props
episode
to him
before.
for keeping that forum going, and it's all positive.
Yes,
it's great.
Well,
I
he's
love
that.
it.
He's a very positive guy.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
Never met him, but it's all good stuff. So.
Another
Don't
reason to
shake
go.
hands with him.
Yeah, Christ.
Tear that freaking hand right off you.
Yeah, and thank you, Cliff, for he's been coming to the show since the first one. He's been a fan of Joe's Minibike Reunion before it was cool to be a fan of Joe's Minibike Reunion.
Yep.
Thank you, Cliff. Your check's in the mail, Cliff. So yeah, Minibike Nation. So you're on there and you're pursuing what, a taco or a
Yeah, so I found a taco, and it looked like it was a 68 frame. So I sent a message, or I commented to it because he didn't know what it was. He was asking for identification. So I told him taco 22, and
Let me stop you there for a second.
sure.
How do you perceive those ads where they're like, hey, I just found this. Any of you guys know what this is? Bullshit. Because I look
Either
at those with a twisted
They want to
look.
know how much it's worth to
Yeah.
sell it, or they really don't know.
No, they're looking to stimulate responses from everybody to chatter up about this deal.
Yeah, make a story about it.
Knowing more about it than, anyways, was it one of those deals? Was it a genuine?
Yeah, it was genuine.
Okay.
The seller was awesome. His name was William, I believe it was.
What's up, William?
Younger gentleman, but smooth transaction. Sent him a message, told him, hey, I'm willing to buy it, and he gave me a price. I sent him PayPal right away. Then another guy chimed in through another private message, who I had met up in the Modesto area, bought a bike from him, and he sent me a message asking me, hey, are you the guy that I'm trying to outbid on this bike? I said, sorry, man, I already purchased it. It's sold. So I apologize. It was very short and sweet. Boom. The guy went back, guns loaded. You're a prick. You won't let any of us buy any taco parts. You're cornering the market. 44 bikes. You don't need any more. Blah, 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 blah. Let him go. Let him ventilate. And I just said another short, simple one-word sentence, kind of, okay, thanks. Then he continued to go with another 3-paragraph response, and he was upset. It is what it is, but lo and behold, I told the guy, hey, that's the name of the game. You first come, first serve, just like buying a car. If you're
And relationships.
gonna buy if you have the highest bid, you're gonna get it. If you're
Sure.
the first one there, cash in hand, you're gonna get it.
Open market, man.
Obviously, yeah, you want to be the nicest guy out there. You want to continue your relationships and keep your bridges to where you can cross back over them again. But this guy, he's just burnt them all, in my opinion.
Well, it's too bad, but that's I those guys are just usually a little bit jealous or a little bit hard up financially. Maybe they had already had plans of buying and turning that. They'd already had the money gear in motion. That's when it gets slippery. It's the ones that sell. They're the ones that stay on Craigslist forever because they're overpriced. There's a guy out there now who's got a Keystone
Yeah, I saw
that he was selling independently and as a part of a group. And those are pretty cool little bikes. There's little 2-strokes. They're kind of odd looking. They got little small wheels and tires. They go back to a group, Ed, that's closer to your age than mine, that were into those bikes.
Yeah.
And it's a $600 bike, I guess, on a good day, and he's double that, and it'll be there forever.
He wants 900.
Well, it started at 12, and I guess
Yeah.
what I'm getting at is, I would love to. I should have done this. This will be a good note to self-E in the future. Is that I often wonder with people that are into mini bikes like I am. In fact, those of you who are into it are probably into it even a little bit more than I am. But when you're on Craigslist and you look at it, you put them in that gallery under newest, and you're looking at all of them. You've seen that one, seen that. I haven't seen that one. Overpriced, bullshit. Maybe one out of that gallery. What ones get your attention? Tacos first, okay.
Then, the taco lookalikes, the zebras, the Canis Hornets. I like the tacos, and then I like to go with the ones that like to replicate the tacos. Sure. It all started with go-kart cycle and Flexo and Taco and Rupp, Bonanza, Steam's Taco. But, the one and the like. I mean, it's all, I like to collect the originality. In my opinion, I think California bikes is where it's at. I'm born and raised here in Southern Orange County. I want to stick to having California bikes. I had a Rupp, got rid of it. Had a Powell.
More of a Midwest bike.
Yeah.
Yeah. I represented a little taco for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm representing a little taco for myself. Shout out to Joe. He's a good guy.
Yeah, Joe is a good guy.
Yeah.
We had Joe's a member of the Joe's Minibike Reunion Hall of Fame and has been a previous sponsor of Joe's Minibike Reunion. Haven't seen him in a little while.
Like to get some more action from him would be cool.
Well, we're just making things happen on our end. We just keep looking straight ahead, right? That's the thing to do. But yeah, this was one of a few shirts that I've collected. In fact, I'll have to show them to you after the show. I've got about maybe 10 cool mini bike related shirts. The last one was the 818 mini bike shirts we got from our boy Jack.
Those are nice shirts.
Yeah, and everybody should plan ahead for that. In fact, talking about events, a couple cool events are happening. We just said it was the 15th anniversary for the GTS Hobby, their picnic day. Sounds like they had a good time.
Yeah, it was a good turnout.
Yeah.
Yeah, and, it was, I think, the most they ever had so far.
Danny won it again, of course.
Awesome. Congratulations, Danny boy.
He had a really cool
chopper.
Bonanza chopper.
Great. Is it the orange one?
Yeah, it was a two or three tone.
Yeah, I think. I wonder if it's the one he brought to the show that he's continued to work on.
Yeah, he's been.
He had a little Petro as well as what other bike did he have at Max that we were looking at? He had that little Petro bike that's.
I think he had a Scat Kitty, didn't he?
Yeah, the Scat Kitty. He ended up getting rid of.
Oh no, he had the West Bend that I was looking at.
Oh, he had the West Bend.
Right.
Yeah.
That may be the West Bend.
He had a Scat Kitty.
Not
there
mine.
Too.
That was a different one.
Incestuous little group here, Hey, we'll be checking some of the folks who have sent in comments and questions. And for those of you who have hadn't had the chance you can send in your question or comment on the Facebook page, and we'll check them out. Somewhere in the middle of this second half, we're going to go a little bit long. We literally had a concern about our hard drive with the first part of the show, but it looks like we're all right. If not, works miracles. So you had a guy that's a little bit pissed off because the early bird got the worm. Okay, so not much pity to a guy like that.
Yeah, beat him to a bike in his own town.
So you're up early and you're looking at tacos. Well, you're probably not the only fucker looking for tacos on mini bikes in LA, right? You're one of about
on Craigslist once.
What happened, Ed? Recently?
My friend, it was a few years ago. My friend wanted a Bonanza on Craigslist, so we called the guy up, and he's like, I don't know, maybe Orange County. I forgot exactly where. So we agreed on the price. The price was what he wanted in the ad. So we get the address. We're jumping the car. We're headed down there.
Where were you going?
To pick up the mini bike.
No, where? Where was it?
I think it was somewhere in Orange County.
Okay.
And
you're up here in San Fernando, right?
Yeah, right.
Okay, all right, great.
So we're halfway to the guy's house, right? And my phone rings. And he goes, have you left yet? And I said, yeah, we're about halfway there. He goes, well, someone offered me some more money for the bike, and I'm going to sell it to him. I go, you know what? We're halfway to your house, and we're still going to be on way to your house. But if it's not there when we get there, I'm kicking your freaking ass.
No, this was back when you weren't taking any shit, Evil Ed.
Yeah.
Who were you with?
This is when he was just
I was with my friend Paul. He wanted the mini bike. I said, when we show up to your house, if it's not there, I said, I'm going to kick your ass. So we're halfway there now. You can't just back out on a deal like that just because you got more money for it.
And they still do that to this day.
Oh, yeah. Left and right.
In fact, you referred me to see the Clinton.
Yeah.
The other one's up there.
We ended up getting the bike though.
For the same price that you
The
guys
same
agreed to?
price,
That's
yeah.
good.
Well, yeah, that's back then where it did get to fisticuffs. Now the modern day version of that is bullshit over internet, right?
It's all internet keyboard
right?
warriors.
And you turned me on to the guy that helped me with the Clinton parts, and I ordered a $40 flywheel. Came out and realized, it's like, what do I need to worry about the flywheel on that one? Fucking popped it off. The engine never had been run. It was so easy to take it off. It's literally just popped the back of it. So I sent him an email. It's like, hey man, I don't know if you had a chance to send out the flywheel, but if you hadn't, it's like, I'm good. He goes, oh, did you find one cheaper?
Oh, really?
And it wasn't like no exclamation point, you're an asshole, no stupid fucking emojis that I don't deal with. It was almost an immediate deal that he expected people to dick him around just because they saved a buck on a $40 part, which was really hard to find. Like, I would never do that, but it's a shame because, he deals with a lot of people. Probably figured me for another one of these yo-yos who do shit like that. It's Clinton_nut at Gmail or something, or I'll get it, but he's really cool if you need Clinton parts. In fact, if you need a Clinton engine, I've got a 4 horsepower that's there for the taking. Ed, okay, so we're going through that sensei moment with the tank. What is the deal with that tank? Is it for sale?
Yeah.
What is it exactly?
It's an Azusa.
All right, so how much is something
Original.
like that you want? It's fully polished, it looks nice. You
It's
got
a
all
brand new tank.
I think he told me $150.
And then I
that
said,
seems like a good deal.
Yeah,
It's
it's
like,
a great
fuck,
deal. You don't find those tanks, especially
Should I
in that
buy it?
condition.
Just put it in the. Should I just put it over
it's
here?
brand new. It's never had gas in it, never been mounted.
Well, I'd much rather him have
bracket.
it because he may have an application. But look, whether he buys it or whether I buy
It's
it,
got the little pieces that fit underneath the tank. so it
I
doesn't
thought you
scratch
were
the
hoarding
frame.
it. I thought you were hoarding it.
No, I don't.
Had a man love after spending a day in the park in those nice chairs with his dad, and you thought you were being like a nice guy, bringing him this part that you would never give
Well,
up.
first he had asked me if I had one, and I had one, but I couldn't tell him because I wanted it for a bike. I didn't want to say, yeah, I have one, but I'm not selling it.
See, I'm gonna try to.
So I just never answered him.
I'm gonna guilt him into the sale, Dave.
I just never answered him.
No, but you did walk down here like you're bringing the friggin' Virgin Mary. You had it all covered up here in the little blankets. It's like, he was.
He had made a joke about the tank when he messaged me a
What
little
was
earlier
it? What'd you
today.
tell him, Justin?
I forgot what I had said. Something about I'm here. You bring in my tank.
Yeah. And I says, oh, I'm looking at it now. Wow, it's cherry.
Then I heard Justin say, "Is that a ding? You're just happy to see me." It's like, well, that's patina. That's original patina. See, and there lies. They're essentially
I mean, it's
it
a
is.
tank from the '60s, a metal
Yeah, what do you
add-on gas
expect?
tank.
But a good example of what is a part worth? Well, let's just say that part was available at the next guy's place or the next stupid podcast or the next show. Then they're $25 option products when you can't find them, and they literally look like new and they're rare.
You don't have to chrome
$100,
it.
$200, $250. That's how it is.
Yeah.
I'm trying to buy the original tank for this. The deal. I'm gonna spend $300 on that fucking thing.
Yeah, I know. Those tanks are hard to find, those bonanza choppers.
So it is what it is. Let's not forget, we still shouldn't be making a big thing about it because unlike the car industry or even the full-size motorcycle, try to find a part for a 70 down anything. Try to find a car part for any kind of muscle car. Try to buy one of those cars. It's 10s, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. So the point of entry for collecting, even within our muscle car world, which are these 60 mini bikes, whether it's the Tacos or the Bonanzas, we were talking about those Briggs 5-horse flatheads. Finding those or finding that. You don't find them.
It's gold.
Yeah. So if you are out there, and I see it constantly, and you see it quicker and earlier than I do, I'm sure, because you're surfing these sites outside of Craigslist and eBay. The no-brainers. Give some of these guys an idea of some other places that don't tell them everything, but where else can you suggest that they go that is beyond the obvious? The old minibikes.com. I mean,
Google.
Yep. Yeah,
Thanks,
Ed.
Ed.
You gotta Google yourself how to find your, your. Unfortunately, given the giving your secrets away is something that you don't really want to do. So Craigslist is an easy option. You know, I mean, everybody knows about these new applications on your iPhones. You know, you get the 5 mile, offer up, let go.
What's that one? Tell me.
Which one? Offer up?
Yeah.
So it's
Oh
basically
yeah, I've
Craigslist.
seen offer up. Yeah.
Yeah, it's an app that you can get on your Android, your iPhone.
But just like I did, sometimes it's fuzzy. It's not an automatic, right? So there's an
Yeah.
advantage right there.
Yeah, so you've got to look into it. You got to figure out how to use the app itself.
Sure.
Of course, it's not something that the older crowd is something, the older crowd isn't too up to speed on this kind of stuff. A lot of these bikes are an older crowd forte.
Yeah.
So it's easy for someone like David and I to find these bikes on those, little apps that we use to find the vintage bikes. And then it's also the keywords. Mainly the keywords is what it is. So the apps, everybody has access to, but I don't want to give my keywords away of what I find them as.
What's your so your online strategy really is it's not much of a concern, because typically there's an opportunity for you to transact and make the deal online, and you have access, whether it's $200 or $2,500. The transaction part's not that big of a deal. What about when you're out picking, like going to Pomona? You're rolling up there with $500, $5,000. Are you going there planning on buying anything that should be bought?
I work every Saturday, 10 to 3. Unfortunately, I'm not able to make it out to Pomona.
So what about other events then? I was using Pomona as an example, but
sometimes I go to the Long Beach.
Yeah, there you go. Great example.
It's the Sunday after Pomona. Tons of stuff out there. Mac's out there every weekend, so you can always shoot the shit with Mac, which is cool. I tend to do that. There's not really any mini bike stuff out there, so I just go to see Mac most of the time.
So then events really aren't a platform that you go and do a lot of transactions or buying.
You don't see them out there as much anymore. What's cool is a lot of the times you can find those neighborhood garage sales.
Man, around my neighborhood, it's all clothes hanging
never
off
know,
the
though.
freaking railing.
Every day's a
know what
garage
you're
sale
gonna find,
overhead.
It's all clothes hanging off of a railing.
It's rare that you find the mini bike at the garage sale. It really is nowadays.
Last time I left
do,
Ed's
it's
house, I came home with a kite, a blanket, and I still think it's crooked. It's supposed to be the Virgin Mary statue, but the eyes are just a little off, and I got out of there. I didn't even stop for the hot sauce for the taco. I just kept going. But hey, every day is a swap meet. I stopped looking, because I had found myself just like all due respect, a young kid on fucking Craigslist constantly. And then stupid eBay, and
I love eBay.
I'd gone through it where it's like it was great,
I love it so
and
much.
I guess that's the best way to describe it. And I like that, because when you don't go on Craigslist, it's like now I've been traveling a lot for work, and I'll find that maybe there's a week or maybe 4 or 5 days where at least the 7 or 8 days, and you haven't been on. So when you do go on, there's at least you find something new that you hadn't seen, and even that's almost like a fix, right, for you. And I'm at a point now where I wanted to ask you, how quickly are you to outgrowing what appeared to be a pretty packed photo that I saw of your place? I mean, you mentioned Dave a lot. Do you guys collect and store off-site as well as you have a couple?
It's all there in my one-car garage. Underneath that workbench, it's
everywhere.
full.
It looked packed.
You can't fit any more underneath the workbench.
So what are you going to do now? So that's what I'm getting at. You don't like to sell,
No.
and if you have a limited space, you understand.
I've got a lot of
there's-
duplicates that I'm going to have to get rid of, because obviously I just want to keep the 1-year make and model of every single one. I want to keep the lowest serial number that I have in my collection and get rid of the rest of them.
So you think that you're a perfect person to properly
dispose
sell
of
off
them?
those? Yeah. Do you have a strategy? Do you have a group of close friends that get the call? Has anybody kind of found their way up to the list where maybe do you see a young Justin Eichler out there that, maybe those dupes could conceivably start something?
I don't know anybody else that's into it as enthused with taco as Bill and I are. I mean, Danny is, but he's had them all, and he got rid of them slowly but surely. He just wants to keep the ones that he is enthused by.
Well, there you go, folks. Here's your open opportunity. If folks do want to reach out, maybe they've heard something or picked up on something during the podcast, how do you like to talk to folks? Facebook, or what's the best way for folks to get hold of you?
Yeah, I use email. I use Facebook. I use text message. I'm easy. You know, it's all easy. I mean, my last name's spelled Eichler, Eichler. First name's Justin, so I'm easily obtainable. Located out of Orange County. So if you wanted to try and find that bike that you're looking for, if it's a taco, lo and behold, I have it in my garage.
Let's get right to it. What models do you have dupes of?
From 66 to 70.
Okay, and what are points of entry? And we're talking about rollers or like 2-piece frames or?
I've got rollers, I guess. I don't really want to get rid of my wheels, just because I'm going to need them later on. Shocks I'm going to need.
So what are the price points for these bikes now? You're an expert in terms of resale value now.
I wouldn't say I'm an expert in resale value at all. I'm an expert in what I want to collect, I guess, but I don't know what to pay for or what it's worth. I mean,
I don't know, Ed. Wouldn't you think he's a pretty good gauge at knowing what a taco would go for? I mean, you and I seem to feel like we're pretty accurate guessing prices of bonanzas.
Justin seems like if he wants it, he'll buy it no matter what the price is.
So maybe
so he has like no
gauge,
no gauge on the resale part because he already paid too much for it.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Plus, there's you're looking at it long term too. So I think there's
I
a
don't
certain.
have to get rid of anything. I'm 27
But that's
years old.
kind of like I
I've got
am.
44
If I see something
you
and
know.
I want it and it's overpriced, and I know I can't get it, I'll buy it, and then worry about it later. If I want to sell it.
I haven't got hurt on any mini bikes. Knock on wood. I've had a few of them coming in and out of here, and I've had a lot of them get beyond typical work done, and I've paid well, and I've never spared on parts. And the few that I've ever turned, and I've turned them well because I've bought them back before it got too crazy.
Yeah.
Not very common that you make money off of them.
And I didn't buy any of them to make money off, which is the beauty of all of them. I had a lot of room because I had another building and office, and it was literally filled with shit.
I've sold one of my tacos, just one. It was when I had a duplicate 6644. A friend of mine that I talk to every day, Kyle Calkins out of Nebraska.
Yeah, I know Kyle. What's happening, Kyle?
Good friend, expert knowledge. If you ever need to figure out what a bike is, he knows it all. Kind of like Tom.
Yep. Tom Wiki.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was on.
Tough last name to pronounce.
Simple Tom.
Yeah.
But yeah, Kyle, he's got a 66 bolt together 22 that he was doing for the build off, and he wanted a 6644 for the next one, so they can have them kind of next to each other. It was something that I didn't really want to get rid of. David sold me the 6644 in the beginning, and ended up selling it to Kyle. I didn't make anything off of it, but I helped out a friend and got rid of one of the bikes that I didn't need. So it worked out.
I looked around. I was in here. I actually had moved a lot of the bikes out. Some of them were almost close to getting there. I showed you that Indian back there. It's like a wire away from trying to get kick-started. Now that the weather's getting a little bit warmer too, because for some reason I didn't do much this last month. I don't know if it was cold or I know I was sick. So it's like I didn't, but now I want to get out here and do something. I got to find something to put that engine in. I'm going to meet with Brian maybe this week to give them I've had their Hall of Fame billboard hanging out back there since the event. So I'm going to meet with them to get that because I'd much rather that be in their garage. And I'm going to drop off that Ruttman. You may have seen the Ruttman out there.
Yeah, nice
the
bike.
Fat Tire. Yeah, it's going to be a cool bike. And we saw some of the pieces that were going into it. It's the Pioneer custom Ruttman bike that will be given away at Joe's Minibike Reunion. It's going to be customly modified with the friends over at F&B. And Ed, you had a hand at it early on, and Jake Moe had a hand in it early on, and I'm really looking forward to that. I showcased it with a rendering. It's on the Facebook page if you dive deep back there a few months ago. I'm hoping that we've got that going. We've got a couple other cool things in store. We had a date locked in. It's on the Facebook page. Looking forward to seeing everybody at this year's Joe's Minibike Reunion. We've got a couple cool things in store. I guess one of the cool things is we'll have you there this year. Now, you had heard about the event, but you hadn't had a chance to check it out. Mm-hmm. I'm sure you're going to like it. What do you think you'll be bringing to the show? Do you have anything in mind that you want to be bringing, or you're just going to kind of wing it and play it by ear and see what you like closer to the showtime?
I mean, I've got a couple bikes that I'm almost done with. I've been working on that 44 that my dad bought me for, almost a whole year, just trying to find the right parts. That one's just about buttoned up, and then I've got the Frajole that I'm probably going to finish, the 22 that I just wrapped up. Probably bring, I think you do a survivor class, so I'll probably bring my American Eagle. Who knows? I might finish one of my Aggies as well, because everybody brings tacos. Just because I collect it, there's so many other people out there that do tacos.
I like the Aggies. I don't know if it's
you don't see them very often.
Yeah, I think it's the high handlebar look that I like. There's something just about them. The
cool.
little mini
There's
apes.
some really awesome, history that goes behind it, going back to the hot rod. It was Mickey Thompson,
Without a doubt,
who started it all and sold all the tooling to King Alon. So
we, when I was working in the off-road industry, I was working on four-wheel and off-road and four-wheeler at the time, and Mickey was out there making it happen.
yeah.
That was
Huge
one
in the industry.
Oh, and
It's a shame that he's gone.
Yeah, well, that's a whole different story. What it really was a shame. And his wife Trudy, she was very active too. But on the off-road scene, he was the man.
Yeah. Well,
he was the
the
man.
drag strip,
Yeah,
off-road, hot
Crossed
rod.
over. He
Yeah,
was the-
wheels. I mean, he's
That
still
drag
see his
strip.
stuff today.
it was a
Dragster-
natural. I saw
Dragster
on
go-kart that he had.
Yeah.
American Pickers visited George Barris and his daughter
George Barris too. He did some rad stuff.
Joji, and they were looking at all the cool things that were still they were still able to pick a few things before. Unfortunately, he passed, George Barris, a while ago, a couple of years, I think. But yeah, they're still out there. The bikes are still out there, and you're out there picking and finding. And I continued success mining for gold out there.
Yeah.
We're going to have
Fun.
you worked into one of the upcoming shows. I think it would be a cool thing to day in a life. Follow you around. Maybe we'll see how your day goes and check out some picks, because I think picking, people want, just like I mentioned American Pickers, I think people love that.
It's a cool show.
I love it whenever I see anybody going out looking for anything cool, particularly cars. But when you start seeing mini bikes, I've seen it a time or two, and it's like I can't get enough of it, man. I just love that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I want to give a few shout outs. You can do the same. My man Rick Chu. Rick's a local La Crescenta legend, former firefighter, saved so many lives. And he's an anti-Harley guy, but I see him whipping around in a Sportster now. So I've been
really?
giving him some shit, yeah. Willie, what's happening, my man? Willie Bush. Bob Swearzik, my man. He's working on a Bozo. He's from upstate New York, Utica, New York, my little hometown area. So who knows, Ed? Maybe I found a Bozo. My man Corona Irving. Robbie Foster. I think Gina Marie. Is that your mom?
That would be my mom.
Tom
Yeah.
Drew. A few other folks want to give a shout out to. I mentioned the guys over at Go Power Sports. They're out of Texas, and they've been keeping busy. I mentioned those meet and greets they had. They were at the Pate Swap Meet in Texas at the Motor Speedway, and they bring in their version of, everybody's got like a cars and cameras. So the cars and camera crew went over there. There's this guy Redbeard and the Redbeard Garage Gang. There's a couple other groups. Rather Be Welding is another one. Build, Break, and Repeat, which is a cool name, right? I saw that. They have a little video. And I told you about the deal that they do with the kids where they kind of do this, kind of a competition with time. And, you can do that with mini bikes. I remember when I was a kid, because they would have those exploded versions of the kit. And even with all the washers and the bolts, you're still looking at like 40 pieces. So it was like, I can do this shit. I got models for ships. But it wasn't quite as simple as that illustration made it seem to be. They
Like
would
the
bait
Boys
you.
Life magazine that they had.
Well, they baited you with, you had to buy, you would see it, and you'd see what appeared to be a mini bike, and then you see a 25 cents, but all it was the plans.
Yeah.
It wasn't for the fucking mini bike, which was the first slap in the hand you got doing this shit. But it continues even up to 60. I don't know what I was doing. It probably had something to do with the Clinton, and I had bolted my finger into something I couldn't get out. It's like, so you still do it. I guess that's the cool part of it. I wanted to reach out to, I was talking about the guys over at Go Power Sports. So they had all those guys there, the Rather Be Welding guys. They had the Build, Break, and Repeat competition. They've got all these videos up on their website as well as their Facebook page. You can check out all the shenanigans those guys are up to. They're pretty cool guys. They're giving away the custom chain guard. Ed, I want to give away the custom chain guard from Go Power Sports, as well as the small engine cam. I mentioned Rashawn and his bike seemed to got a lot of notoriety on a few of the posts that I saw after the GTS event. GTS Hobby event. So why don't we give Rashawn that cam?
Okay.
I think, because that's a pure ass drag bike. I think that was a 16 plus horsepower bike. That's what this engine is. And I don't know. Looked nice. Live axle bike, just right paint job. So Rashawn, congrats, you won. If anybody's out there, you can let him know. And we're going to take a second as Ed and Justin have a chance to give some shout outs. I'm going to take a look at some other questions. We're going to give away the custom chain guard as well. Want to thank all of our sponsors again from Pioneer, Go-Kart USA. We mentioned our friends from Go Power Sports, the friends over at Stutz. The guys from Stutz, Eric had his event. It was the Candyman Extravaganza. It was the first one this year. It was just past weekend. And they raced. It's cold out there, man. So they had a nice turnout despite that. Eric was out there doing it. They have it again in the summer. I think it's midsummer, Ed, and that's the one that maybe you and I will check out.
All right.
So, Eric, congratulations on pulling that off. If you want to find out more about that, you can go to the Facebook page for Stutz. If you are anywhere near the Detroit area, now's the time to get your bikes. In fact, you guys can be riding now. I think you're riding. I saw some posts. My man, give a shout out to my man Myron Bailey. He was listening earlier. Hope you're doing good, Myron. We're going to have you back on the show. Myron knows the path to Stutz, so check him out. All of our Motor City friends. For those of you on the East Coast, don't forget, you got East Coast Mini Bikes. That's another one. You're a part of the East Coast Mini Bikes page as well. Yeah, I like that.
You got to be active in them all if you're trying to find them.
Yeah, I don't think I'm in deep as you are. How many are you connected to?
I lost count.
Yeah, see, so I don't have that many. I think I've got like 12. How about you, Ed?
I forgot.
You deep? So you're you're
I don't
deep
know
too.
how many I got.
Yeah.
All I know is every time I punch, so-and-so added you to this group.
Yeah, or as soon as you go onto Facebook, it's just another mini bike post.
You were looking at some of the bikes I had out there.
You've got some really cool ones.
Well, thank you. The Grom was a bike that I purchased new over at our friends over at Honda of Glendale. And that was when they first come out, 2014, I think, maybe the first year. And I got it, and I immediately brought it over to Steady Garage to see Kevin and Ray over there. And they got me going. They took off all the shit I didn't need on there, and they got me looking all right. And then I went back in there, and they kicked me up another level. And I just recently saw a 300 Honda stuffed in a Grom. It looked like it fit in there like a glove. It's a CR300, I believe, CRF. And now that's got me thinking. Mm-hmm. But I love my Grom, and I'll hopefully be with a group of hundreds of others who will be a part of the Killer Scooters SoCal Super Sunday, held this Sunday, April 29th at 8:30 a.m. Everybody's going to meet at The Hat, which is located on 5505 Rosemead Boulevard in Temple City, California. I was there last year. It is fucking unreal. Not only the caliber of the bikes and the builds of these Groms, and it's Grom-like bikes. It's, in some cases, modified Ruckuses. Our buddy Ray Mila had a custom Z50. My buddy Mario and his friends up in NorCal come down with customized Z50s that go 80 miles an hour. You got guys like Jonah. Jonah brought out his Honda to the Antelope Valley ride. Those bikes go, they're street legal. They're 80 mile an hour bikes all day long. My Grom will probably do 60 tucked downhill.
Just still plenty fast.
Fast enough for me. I still shit my pants because we cross over. Like last time, the thing about Killer Scooters event, the Super Sunday, is that it really starts Friday. So Friday night, in fact, it's not even Super Sunday unless you go to the Super Friday. Super Friday, everything's super, but Super Friday really is cool. I went there with my brother-in-law, Marv. In fact, I want to give a shout out to Marv, as well as my main man, Corey. Hopefully you're listening back in New York. Super Friday is, it's kickback. It's Steady Garage. They're located at 861 Meridian Street in Irwindale, right off the 210. You can check out their website, steadygarage.com, for more information. But their deal kicks off at 5:30. They ain't fucking around, man. It's like as soon as work's off, bam, party on at 5:30. And they say 11 o'clock. They were scraping people out of there at 3.
Wow.
And we left a little bit early, and we had to wait because me and my brother-in-law, we got chased away from our car by like 3 street raccoons. They're sitting on top of his trash can that our car was parked next to. Neither one of us had the balls to go over there. So we had to wait for about 20 minutes to get these raccoons off. And the party was still, we thought we were leaving. Man, for every one car that was leaving, 5 other guys. And it was funny because one of the last groups that I saw coming in to the Super Friday was a group of guys on Groms, which got my immediate attention. But the unquestionable noise of a Predator. There were 3 guys on rigid frame mini bikes with Predators with pipes riding along with these guys.
Cool.
And they had come from downtown LA, and God knows how far they had come on those bikes, and it was cold as shit, and they were loving it. And their night had just started. So if you like that kind of, they had some music there, they had some great beer. God knows whatever else you can imagine happens at those parties. It was a great time. Check them out at steadygarage.com. Justin, any shout outs that you'd like to make?
You got David in Bellflower, Albert in La Puente, Nick and Trevor in the Bay Area, Kyle in Nebraska, family. You got Jeff, Chelsea, Mom, Mike, Dad, Robbie Foster.
Did you give your shout out to your dad?
Yeah, Dad.
Oh, there you go.
What's up, Dad?
And maybe Pops, you could bring him to Joe's Minibike Reunion.
Oh, yeah, he'll be there. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, he loves it.
So we will we'll say hi to a few folks from our end. Ed, how about you? Any shout outs, Ed?
Yeah, let's try it. Minibike Paul, Cliff Judd, Simple Tom. Let's see, there's so many people I can say, and I can't think of one right now.
Ed, send me pictures of your girlfriend, too.
Chad White
Jesus
Knight.
Christ, I saw him earlier. Oh, my God. Damn, Ed.
The Gray Ghost, Gray Goat Garage.
Easy for you to say. See, that's what happens.
Can't forget Mac.
Mac.
Well, thank you both for being a part of it. Ed, we're going to... when's our next podcast? Have any idea when you want to do it? Yeah, so hopefully I have a date for you posted on the website, or usually it's at Joe's Minibike Reunion Facebook page for more. I probably had a few other questions I missed, but for the most part, I guess here's my deal, Justin. First of all, congratulations, brother, for not only being, and I mean this affectionately, a proper young gun in our industry. You're out there making it happen. You're having fun. You got a great attitude.
Thanks.
You're cool to be around, and I'd love to have a chance to spend more time with you. You should come with us. I know I invited you out to the recent AV ride. It wasn't able to happen. We get that.
Yeah,
and
I got Saturdays off now working with Pops, so I'll be able to.
Yeah. And who knows? Maybe we'll get Pops on a bike. It'll be easier to get the days off, right? Give you something to shoot for. Work hard every 3 Saturdays, get the 4th one off, go to AV. We're going to be out there a few times, but it gets smoking hot out here. So the time to ride is like within the next few months. Ed, you going to be ride ready? I know we missed.
Yeah, I got a couple bikes running.
Good. So we'll be building a few bikes, Ed. And how are you? Let's help get your modern day American Flyer going, maybe. We got to get you a couple tires and wheels, and
no, I got the tires. It's a roller now.
All right, good. So
we'll an engine.
Let's get an engine.
I don't know what I want to put in it though.
Well, if anybody's got any suggestions about what Ed should put in that Go-Kart USA American Flyer 215 roller,
I have a Hemi, Predator Hemi, in a bike, but I think I want to take it out and put it in the American Flyer.
Well, we have a giveaway, and here's what we're going to do with the giveaway. I'm going to go back in, and I'm going to read some of the posts, and I'll announce it on the Facebook page tomorrow. We had the giveaway from the GoPowersports.com, the chain guard that was also available, and we've got the we already gave the camshaft away to Rishan Valentine, so congratulations on that. For the next Joe's Minibike Reunion podcast date, stay tuned to the Facebook page. Thanks for all the good work. Justin, thanks again for coming in. Evil Ed, stay warm, stay cool. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you the next time on Joe's Minibike Reunion podcast.